Folks, right now, Caleb Harris III has been incarcerated for 29 years. He's been unjustly incarcerated for 29 years. He is you know what? Let me just stop right there. Caleb, tell us the story, man. What happened like before you called me? How did the whole situation kind of go down? And then I got the call, and then we could talk more about about the situation later. But talk to me about where we are, and not where we are, where we were. I think you're 17 at this point.
Long story short, I'm living in Compton still. I still stay with my mother and my sister in Compton. My older sister moved to Hawthorne with her boyfriend. And so the building they live in has a swimming pool. And so I used to go over there and hang out with them, go swimming, play dominoes or whatever. And I met a group of people associated with him by going over there to visit them and just basically just hang out. It was just something to do. It was a nice environment. It wasn't no rough place to be. For one, this was Hawthorne, so it really wasn't no whole lot of stuff going on.
And it was Hawthorne in the '90s, so it was okay.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It wasn't a terrible place.
Mm-hmm.
So you got knuckleheads doing stuff everywhere, but I didn't feel in danger. I didn't feel like it was too much going on. I'm over here just hanging out, and I had knew my sister's boyfriend for, I guess, 2 years now. We met him like 91, 92.
Okay.
And so, he was kind of sort of like a big brother type individual to me, so to speak. And so I'm just over here hanging out with them, and I met some dudes that was around my age that was hanging out in this apartment or, lived in this area. They was from Hawthorne. And I met a few dudes that was his age. I'm 17. These dudes was 24.
Okay.
Between 24 and 30.
Okay.
So I met some dudes that was his age too. So I'm just hanging out.
Go ahead.
That's how I ended up out there.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that's how I ended up out there.
All right. No. Okay. So you're out there hanging out. Keep going.
And so my co-defendant is.
Wait. You said co-defendant.
Boyfriend.
You said co-defendant.
Right.
Even before we get to that co-defendant, can you walk us through? Because I want folks who are listening to understand the fullness of the case. All right. Can you walk us through what happened, and you probably were about to do this anyway. What happened, and how did you get caught?
Okay. So my co-defendant, which was my sister's boyfriend, I think they went to high school or whatever together. He was a few blocks down, a few blocks over, with two other people. One of the dudes' name is Charles. Charles lived in that building.
Okay.
It was him. His name is Dwayne. It was Dwayne, Charles, and Bob.
All right, we're gonna keep names. We're gonna keep names just like that. All right.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead.
So they were standing in front of this building, talking amongst themselves. This young lady comes out of the building, and she starts arguing with Dwayne. So he whatever he said, I wasn't there. So I'm getting the story that they told. So he's getting into it with the girl, and as he's getting into it with her, her boyfriend comes out. This is a big dude. This dude, 6'4", probably almost 300 pounds. This is a big fella.
Okay.
He comes out and pulls a gun out. And so that shut everything down. So they was like, all right, man, cool, no problem, whatever. She was like, come on, baby, let's go back in. So that's supposedly it was all squashed right then and there. So later on that night, he goes back to get revenge against this dude. And that's what this case is about.
Mm.
So I didn't know her. I never met her. I didn't know her boyfriend. I never met her boyfriend. So I don't have anything to do with this. They both of them testified. Neither one of them ever said they knew me or I had anything to do with this either.
Now
I'm just making that clear though.
So you fast forwarded, and I need the folks who are listening to get a clear understanding. So let me take a step back. Had you been with those guys at all earlier that day, or no?
No. When they left that apartment, they came back to building where my sister and her boyfriend lived, and I saw them when they came back that morning. But they had already had that altercation with her and her boyfriend.
Okay, so it was what was the time frame between like what? Like was it like like a morning and an evening and a morning? What was it?
Yeah, I don't know exactly what time they got into it with them because he said once they got into it with them, he went into the building and went to Charles' apartment and they hung out in Charles' apartment for a while.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly what time the initial altercation happened.
Okay.
But I saw him probably about between 10 and 11 o'clock in the morning
Okay.
when they came to the building where we were.
Okay. And this was after the altercation, after the initial altercation.
This is after. Yeah,
Okay,
this is after.
so keep me going. So you saw him, you see him you see him as they come back. Now you're talking to them. Then where do we go from there? Because at this point, you haven't told me anything that's going to cause you to be arrested. I want to understand, help our listeners understand how did we get to that point.
Well, so the crime happens that night. First, I left probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I left. I went back to Compton.
Okay.
So the crime happens around, I think I want to say 8:30ish that night.
After the altercation,
So,
the altercation happens on day 1. You see them the morning of day 2. The crime occurs the evening of day 2.
No. This is all the same day. No. This is all the same day.
Oh, so the altercation occurs in the morning of day 1. You see them later on that morning of day 1, and then the crime occurs the evening of day 1.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Keep going.
Okay, so that's January the 28th, 1995.
Mm-hmm.
So about a week or so later.
Wait, what's the crime, Caleb?
I'm over there.
What's the crime?
I had heard about what happened or whatever.
No, Caleb. Tell us what's the crime, because folks listening, they need to understand what you've been accused of, and they need to be able to contextualize it.
Right. Absolutely. So what it is 2 Molotov cocktails were thrown into an apartment, and the guy that he had actually had the altercation with, he had left. So the only people that's in this apartment is the girl that he got into it with and her 2 children.
Okay.
So he was the...
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.